So the All Blacks lineup for the second test up against Argentina has just been announced. Scott Robertson making a couple little switches compared to what we saw in match number 1, but by the looks of it, this side building chemistry heading into those two games up against South Africa. Jumping straight into it, the front row identical to what we saw in test match number 1. Ethan de Groot as loose head prop. Cody Taylor will be 2 and bringing up his 100th cap for New Zealand, and number 3, Fletcher Null. So like I said, the same as what we saw last week. Cody Taylor, the lineouts were successful for the ABs. There were rumours that maybe he would get to have his 100th at Eden Park, but instead he will get the opportunity in Buenos Aires. In the locking duo, it will be number 4, the captain, Scott Barrett, and number 5, Fabian Holland. Last match, they did lose Tui Pilotu off the bench due to an injury, so this week Josh Law comes in to add a little bit more to the locking stocks. In the loose forward trio, this is where we see the only changes across the starting lineup. Number 6, it will be Tupavai, so keeping his spot on the blind side. Number 7, back to Ardie Savia. So last week we saw him playing number 8. He was one of the busiest players out there on the field, the most carries for the All Blacks, had the most meters made as well. So the fact that that was a number 8 who was putting in all those stats, extremely impressive. So now he goes to 7, and a massive debut in the number 8 jersey. It will be Simon Parker. So he has been thrown straight in the deep end, getting the opportunity here up against Argentina. He's a player that some people don't know a huge amount about, but he had a very strong season for the Chiefs. Right at the end of it, picking up an injury, which a lot of people felt had he not picked up that injury, he would have been an original All Blacks bolter, but he can play 6. Can play 8. He's pretty handy in the 7 jersey too. He's a very versatile, very physical type of player. I'll look forward to seeing him in that All Blacks kit. In the 19 combination, no changes from what we did see last week. Cortez Ratama as the starting 9 with Beauden Barrett slotting in at 10. Ratama getting himself a try in test match number 1. Barrett beating 3 defenders. And I do think from the looks of this backline, this is probably what we're going to see. Up against South Africa, there aren't huge changes. There isn't a reshuffle. Just what we saw last week and building up that chemistry for the rest of the Rugby Championship. In the midfield combo, it does mean that it is Jordie Barrett once again in the number 12 jersey. He had a lot of tackles last week, making 14. Billy Proctor on his outside, the duo that they are building up for this year. And Billy Proctor, he's been copping a lot of criticism in that number 13 jersey. Hopefully as he gets more minutes in that outside centre role, building up that partnership with Jordie Barrett as well as the wingers, could be a very dangerous number 13 option out on the wing for this game. It will be Rieko Ioane as the left winger, number 14 Severis, and number 15, this is where we do once again see Will Jordan. So no changes across the back 3 or the back line or the front row or the locking duo, but there are changes off of the bench. Number 16, it is Samisoni Taukeiaho, so no Brody McAllister for this game. Number 17, the injury return of Tamaiti Williams. Now, I thought maybe they would start him in this contest, seeing as it was Null and Taylor, who are more than likely going to be 2 and 3, but they have decided to have him off the bench here, and alongside him go with Basilio Tossi. Number 19, we see Josh Lord get his chance for the ABs. He has been the injury cover of Luke Jacobson, and now that there's the injury of Patrick Tui Pilotu, it makes sense to still have that replacement lock. Number 20, Wallace Satiti, so another player who is coming back from injury, just like Tamaiti Williams. He's been out for a little while and has very limited minutes for New Zealand throughout 2025. He was the breakout player of the year last season across World Rugby, so hopefully he can pick up from where he left off and not pick up any other sort of injury in this matchup. Number 21, they have stuck with Finlay Christie rather than giving Kyle Preston a chance off the bench. Number 22, Quinn Tupaia. Now that one surprised me a little bit in terms of what I thought might happen, but then thinking through at what Scott Robertson has done in the past, it does kind of make sense. I thought this was the perfect opportunity to get Timothy Tavatavanawai in yet again. He covers your centre, he covers you out on the wing. Tupaia offers you 12 and maybe a little bit of 13, so maybe that's a strategic change because they want to give Jordie Barrett half a game here and then take him off, keep him fresh for those next games of the competition. And number 23, it is Damian McKenzie. So only about 5 switches across this side. 2 returning from injury and then 1 coming in for another injured player, and then that reshuffle in the loose forward trio. But the All Blacks getting themselves a bonus point win last week. Can they do it again up against an Argentine side that will want to prove themselves on home soil? That's now 3 losses in a row in front of their home crowd, so they will want to turn that around, and it would be the perfect time to do so, seeing as we're early on in the Rugby Championship. But do let me know what you think of this lineup. We will also have a preview coming out a little bit later on, but an intriguing type of contest. If New Zealand can get another bonus point win here, they'll sit very nicely in that Rugby Championship table. But thank you all very much for tuning in. We are also doing the commentary over the weekend for this game, 9:10 a.m. on Sunday morning New Zealand time, so be sure to check that out as well. But thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all for the next one.